Hi, I'm Donna Drake, and welcome to Realty Connects Long Island. And with me in the studio is John Ardolino. John Fitzgerald and Michael Ardolino. It's not even April Fool's Day yet, guys. I'm already making jokes. But hello and welcome, both of you, to the show. How are you? Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Introduction.
Well, when we see one, we see the other. So it's starting to become synonymous with each other. Maybe you guys will hyphenate the name.
Oh, boy.
Okay. Who knows? But if you have calls, you can reach us today at 516-702-5406. And we always welcome your calls. So we're here today talking once again about real estate, and especially on Long Island. What's happening? Give us the update.
There's a lot going on, obviously, in the marketplace. The snow's finally starting to melt.
Yay!
And with that, it brings an influx of activity in the marketplace. So Mike and I thought we'd just go over it and what's actually happening, what sellers and buyers can expect, and what's going to transition in the next 3 to 6 months in the real estate market.
Great. So we're going to be springing forward into a new market.
Yeah,
It's a good way to put it, spring forward.
You can just feel the energy.
Yeah.
It's there. It's here now.
Right. And you always hear that sellers, they want to wait for the spring market to put their house on, and when the flowers are blooming and so on and so forth. So because of the snow that actually is happening this year, we were very busy over those few months, but now many more buyers will be out in the marketplace.
Yeah, because April, May, June, and then by the time July 4th gets here, you want to have your July 4th party. So I'm thinking people should get their houses listed and get moved in and ready to roll.
She's always thinking about the party.
I am. It's all
that's
about
Because she's
celebrating
looking for a
life.
house. She's looking for a house.
I don't want to
So
have
she's
the
like
party.
thinking.
And that makes sense. People do want to be in for certain holidays or for the summer. And you want to be in a lot of times for the summer so that you make the school year.
Correct.
that's
So people
really-
move in, want to get in for the summer, get settled, and then they can get their
Yeah,
children
people,
registered.
People buying now want to either try to catch the beginning of July, mid-year, mid-summer, or late August.
And you
is
still have
really
those
their goal.
tax return buyers too, right? The people that are kind of waiting for their tax
Sure.
return so that they've got a little bit more for their down payment or a little more decorating money, I guess. So
Absolutely.
It's a good time of year.
Yeah, that's great. So we thought we'd go over some statistics of what's going on in the marketplace and how that's going to affect what's up and coming. And we did some year-to-date analysis versus this year against last year. And unbelievable, but it's very similar as far as the amount of houses that have been placed on the market and the amount of houses that are going into contract. And this chart makes it a little bit easier to see. In 2013, year-to-date, 9,161 houses went on the market, 4,094 sold. If you move over to 2014, 9,566 houses went on the market, where 4,155 sold. So it's very, very close.
Very stable.
Yeah.
Very, very stable.
But that's about to change. And there's 23,000 available houses on the market currently.
Okay.
Now that includes Nassau, Suffolk, and Queens. So you might be in a marketplace, such as Mike was talking about today, on the way here, where you might have not a lot of inventory in that particular marketplace, where another marketplace has a substantial amount of inventory. So
What's interesting is there's pockets of the market in all, Nassau, Suffolk, and Queens where we're actually at a lower inventory than last year, which is driving a little more of that supply and demand. Overall, as John said, it's balanced and it's very strong and flat. However, other parts of the market, depending on where you are and where you're looking, there could be less inventory, and it could be creating a little more of a demand.
Interesting.
Absolutely.
When that happens, then you could talk to your agent in terms of deciding where you're going to, at what listing price, like what the market will bear. Is that how that would affect that? Or
Yes.
to some
Okay.
extent, and we
There's a
actually
little-
have some more information.
Yeah,
on
there's a
that.
little
There we
more that
go.
goes into that, but yes, that's a good
It's a
segue.
good thing. Yeah. If you look at this graph,
Okay.
it really charts the inventory from 2011 all the way to January of 2014. And you can see those spikes when there was such a huge amount of inventory on the market. Nothing was selling, nothing was moving. And now it's coming into what we call a more normal market, where these show 11 months and 9 months of inventory, respectively, between Nassau and Suffolk County. But you can see the increase in inventory coming onto the market. So that creates a couple of different things. And to answer your question, that doesn't necessarily relate to an increase in price because there's less inventory. It may cause a minor blip in the price where there's people competing for that particular house in that marketplace. There's more buyers and not enough sellers, so to speak. But it's not going to create a big increase in prices across the island or any kind of an inventory shortage, because there's a lot more inventory coming on. That's the key.
It's the pace of the year, so right. Because right now, the weather's broke, people are getting ready, the flowers are starting to pop a little bit, and that level of inventory that's coming on is, you can see even by the grass, it's really starting to move up.
Yeah. So sellers have to understand that this is still ideally the best time to get their house on the market for all of the reasons we've been talking about, and just the weather coming to a great time and the buyers on their way out. So that's why you can see the inventory starting to go up. And one of the other things that we wanted to point out, this also goes to your question, and we talk about this all the time, is there's this, and a Newsday article came out on it recently about how prices were increasing on Long Island. And what it
always sounds so, especially when they put it out there.
Right.
It's the first headline is prices are up. And the devil's in the details. You got to read into where it's going. That's what John's going to share right now. There's a lot more to it.
Yeah, this is national statistics, not just local statistics. But when you see that the prices are going up, it really means just that there's a change in the market or the area that people are purchasing houses in, so to speak. If there was a number of sales or a large percentage of sales in a certain price range, that would set the median sale price. And that would indicate, well, this is where prices are, but that's a median sale price. Now there's more activity in the higher end markets.
Okay.
And because of that, it appears that
Gives the
prices are going up
perception-
because the median sale price went up. Exactly.
It's the perception that prices are up. It means that the higher price points, those people are stepping into the market and purchasing. So it gives the appearance that the prices are up.
Interesting.
It's the space of those price points where the activity's elevated.
Yeah, and you could see if there's a larger percentage of activity in these price ranges, and then you do a median average or a median sale price, you're obviously going to have a higher
And the
number.
soundbite will be prices are up.
Correct.
But the
only
prices
for-
have not
right.
changed in any of these categories,
Right.
other than maybe a very small or minute percentage, but the activity has changed.
So the volume makes it appear that way.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
And what's interesting about just looking at this briefly, the amount of inventory coming on the market is going to change these numbers so quick
Dramatically.
in the
Okay.
next 60, 90 days.
Now
I'm
that's
just
because
looking
you
at
think
the
there's going
price
to be more
points.
activity shifting maybe to the
Well,
500,000
well, it gets-
Yes.
under? Is that
Yeah,
why?
It's going to go right to the millenniums that we
Okay.
say every single time we talk. The millenniums are going to drive this market, which
Yeah.
is going to continue to allow those upper prices to move, because the millennium group primarily is going to be buying those first-time buyer homes in all of those areas, Queens, anywhere in those markets. They're going to be the ones driving the market. So it's going to drive up these figures here even more.
Well, it's fun to watch. I mean, I know that you've both been in the industry for a long time, but I think it's fascinating. I think real estate's fascinating, because there's so many twists and turns and things that affect things, and this is great to know. It's really
What's exciting is if you think about the millenniums, they had to reinvent themselves in so many ways over the last 10 years, and they don't even realize now they're going to be calling the shots. It's probably going to feel good to them for a while because they've been having
Finally,
to
right?
react. Now they're going to be able to say, wait, it's about us right now, and that's kind of nice.
Well, it's the same feeling when you're learning how to ride a bike and then you get your first set of wheels, right? And then when you get that first home, there's something about that. It's such a landmark moment for them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It's an exciting thing. I mean, and we have a little information on rent versus buying also,
Okay.
because at one point that millennium generation was saying, we don't need the stress of owning a home, and we don't want to have to worry about, the house or cutting the lawn or doing any of that sort of stuff. We're just going to rent a place and go live our lives. That's changed dramatically over the last couple of years.
And there was lots of reasons
Yeah.
they were saying that. They were
Right.
reinventing themselves. They were realizing they needed to wait anyway. Now it's all shifting, and they're realizing rent versus buy. This is the time
Not a good
to
option.
buy.
Yeah, this is the time to buy.
These
And
are
I-
great statistics.
I actually have some statistics And this is local statistics for Long Island and across the country also that shows you the difference between renting and buying and what you'd actually save by buying as versus to renting. It's cheaper, believe it or not, on Long Island to buy a house than to rent a house. And the way that works is if you look at a 30-year fixed mortgage at 4.5%, and you look at your tax bracket and your deductions, and if you live in that house for 7 years, you can save 31%. It's 31% cheaper to buy a house on Long Island than it is to rent a house. And that millennium generation is now saying, you know, it makes too much sense for us to think about ever renting. We want to get out of these rentals. We want to get into purchasing houses. And that's driving this market dramatically. So we have a good influx of buyers.
That's information we're going to continue to try to get out there.
Absolutely, because that's like a third of every dollar.
Yeah.
So imagine what you could do if you started saving up those thirds. It's
Yeah.
an extra wonderful vacation. It's
they
great
can buy
things.
The couch.
Right.
They can do the deck in the backyard. They can do so many. 31%. It's a lot.
And you think about the equity, when you're all done 7 years renting a place, you leave and you get your $1,200, $2,000,
write-off.
$3,000 security back and you leave. In 7 years in a house, you've built some equity, so maybe you've made another $30,000 in additional monies on top of the fact that you live cheaper by being in that house. So,
Buy now. I hear you.
Buy now.
I hear what you're telling everybody. Buy
Yes.
now.
And the thing about buying now is the sellers should know that how important it is for them to sell now.
Okay.
If you have an interest in selling your house, if you have an interest in moving, wherever it might be, you're going to get a retirement, you're going to take off, you want to downsize, and Michael always talks about that, the downsizing, now's the time to do it. You know, and what you want to do and what we do now, and this is our Realty Connect moment, is we drill in. So if you're a seller, if someone is interested in selling your house, you're a consumer that wants to put your house on the market, and you contact a Realty Connect agent, we will drill in. We've given you national statistics, some local statistics, some Nassau, Suffolk, and Queens. We will drill into your market, right into that zip code, and tell you exactly what's going on in that marketplace.
A Realty Connect agent is constantly trained and gets versed in, if you're looking in Bayshore, if you're looking in, you know, Oakdale, you're looking in Huntington, they're going to drill right in there and they're going to say, this is how many have sold so far, this is what's moved in the last 90 days, this is what's available right now, this is why you should price your house here, and we literally give them the space they need to be in.
That's great.
And they spend a great deal of time becoming the expert on that. So yeah, I would have to say, in all fairness, the Realty Connect agent is quite prepared.
Yeah, and that's huge for you. If you're going to sell your house, you want to know these facts. You want to know how many houses are on the market, how many houses have sold, what's going on in the past 90 days, what's going on right now, how many houses are under contract. And having all that information, you can make an intelligent decision about what you want to do.
And especially, I know in prior shows you've talked about, you know, everybody's asking opinions of everybody else. They'll ask their brother-in-law's opinion, and then somebody else's opinion, and somebody else's opinion. Oh, how much should we sell it for? And then they try to figure it out themselves, and it's just a bunch of mess, just a bunch of confusion.
Mm-hmm.
But if they go to an agent, the agent specializes
You're
in
going to
that.
give them the facts. It's going to be pure facts.
That's a key point. You're not getting an opinion of what you should do. You're getting factual information so that you, as the consumer, can make the decision as to what's best for you. You're not getting an opinion. This is my opinion. I think you should do this, or this is my opinion. I think you should do that. That's not what you get. You get facts. You get information. You get detailed statistics, and then your Realty Connect agent will ask you, in your opinion, what do you think is the best thing for you to do now that you have the information?
And you can project with them. Yeah. You know, maybe they want to retire next June, and you spoke to them last June. Well, now you're following up with them, and the market's different than what we told them last year. And actually, most of the agents will know that it's pretty much where we thought it was going to go. So now, we told you this last year, now it's happening this year, here's the current situation, jump in. And most of them are.
Excellent.
So that's just the basics.
Okay.
You'd really need to contact your agent to get all the real great information that'll help you. So, well, that's our rent versus buy. Let's move on to this. And again, I'll let you take care of that for us.
Well, if you do have a question for us, it's 516-702-5406.
You remembered?
I did. I memorized it. I did. I memorized the number. That number again is, and it's also on your screen sometimes, it's 516-702-5406. And I know that there was a question that we had that came in from, I believe it was Lynn from Ronkonkoma or Lynn from somewhere.
We did. We had probably one of the most, I guess, sought after answers of anybody who's interested in buying or selling real estate because
She
of
asked
this
this. Yeah,
question.
she says, in
This
your
is a
opinion.
question, when you look at this question, everybody, I can see every consumer asking that same question.
And it is, bum ba da bum, in your opinions,
Rates.
our collective opinion. Yeah.
Rates.
What is it that's going to affect the real estate market the most? It's the rates.
Interest rate.
Okay, the interest rate for borrowing affects
Interest
it the
rate.
most.
That would be the most.
Okay.
I believe so too, but I think you look at the real estate markets, it's affected by everything, the economy, unemployment, what's going on with the stock market, what's going on with everything in our economy, so to speak. And it drills down, how many foreclosures are there, how many short sales are there, and all of those things. But the bottom line is it always drills down and goes back to that one significant factor, the rates.
Whether you're a buyer or a seller. Because some buyers will say to you, some sellers will say, well, gee, you're projecting perhaps that the value of homes, if you're talking to them now, what would my home be worth a year from now? Well, maybe it's going to be worth 1.6, 1.8% more. And they may say, well, I think I'm going to wait. Then you need to say, okay, seller, that's fine. You are going to be worth more money. You told me you wanted to move to Florida. Florida's prices are going to be a higher percentage of that than the 1.8, because Florida's market, you have to explain why Florida's market's ahead of Long Island's market, and the interest rate is going to be a full point higher. So the seller's going to say, that doesn't matter to me. Oh, yes, it does. And we say this all the time. It's the rate. The rate affects you, seller, just as as much it affects the buyer, and it affects the buyer more, because you just went up 1.8. They just have to now, you want them to pay you that 1.8, but their rate went up at least a full point, and that's amortized over 30 years. They're going to be looking at the 1.8 you think you're worth a lot differently than you are.
That's true. Very true.
And
Well,
then,
thank you.
and
That
that's
makes
helping
sense.
them understand that. That's the learning curve.
And that's part of, if you looked at that other chart, if the rates go up, that chart will change. That average sale price or median home sale price will start to change, because the affordability level changes as the rates go up. So people can't buy that $1.2 million house anymore. Now they might be buying a $900,000 house, and somebody else might not be buying a $600,000, they're buying a $350,000, and all of a sudden that median sale price changes dramatically.
And isn't it interesting that on that chart, the highest price ranges are the ones having the most sales right now, because perhaps the buyers there know the rates are going up. I better make the moves now.
Yeah, make a money move.
And that's why they're doing it.
That's a key statement, because if you follow the money, if you always look at what the people who have a lot of money are
People
doing.
with more discretionary income, watch what they're doing.
Yeah.
And it's proved in that chart, they're buying.
If they're buying, they have faith in the market,
Follow
they
the
have
money.
faith in the prices, and they have a knowledge or a feeling that the rate, they don't even need to be a feeling, it's definite the rates are going up. But they know that's going to happen, so they're going to say, let's take advantage of the market now.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so if you want to be a buyer and you have something to sell, so then you become the seller and the buyer. So I guess the thing is just jump in, right?
Well, that's a
right.
great,
Do you know what I'm
it's
saying?
a great
if you're
time to be on both sides of that.
that's what I'm thinking.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Wherever you're going, whether it's you're staying on Long Island, bumping up, dumping down, going sideways, leaving, this is the moment. This is the moment, and a year from now, the moment will be there, but it'll be different.
Excellent. And my favorite part of the show, every time that you're with Curran, is the show and, well, not the favorite part, but I always love the show and tell that you guys bring. So we're going to go to some listings, I believe, right? Because you brought us some things that people can look at, and people will get excited and they'll make that call. So thank you as always.
All right, I have to do a quick shout out
Yes.
to the College of New Jersey before we go off the
Wait,
air.
Oh, let's do
Hear
that.
that.
Let's
This
do
is
this.
great. He told me this morning.
Dun, 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 dun. We'll go right to the center
There
camera,
you
I
go.
guess.
My daughter is a lacrosse player for the College of New Jersey, and they played against Gettysburg, their rival, and they're in the top 10 and nationally ranked teams. And they won the game in overtime, and it was a goal scored by my daughter in overtime.
Oh, congratulations.
But, so a big shout out.
Good for her.
Great coach, Coach Pfluger runs a great program there. And Erin Waller, Lauren Piggott, Kendall Borchip, and of course the goalie Kelly, and the whole team, but all of them contributed to a very exciting game. They won 11-10 in overtime. yesterday, and the whole team's very excited, and they're undefeated for the season. So
And now you
shout out to the College of New
Yeah,
Jersey.
good for you. And now you officially embarrassed your daughter. That's great.
I did.
No. Well, celebrating the good things that happen in our
That's
lives, that's what we
wonderful.
love
That's
to do
great
here.
news.
Realty Connects, Long Island, woohoo! So stay tuned for more, because here's your listings.
If you have a real estate question, send us an email at realtyconnectsli@gmail.com or text us at 516-702-5406, and we'll answer your question live on Realty Connects Long Island. 474 Pulaski Road in Green Lawn is where we start our new listings this week. Listed at $299,000, this 3-bedroom ranch has beautiful hardwood floors, a 1-car detached garage, and is close to the village shopping. Call Betty Davenport at 631-223-7778 or Lenny Quartararo at 631-223-7779 for more details on this listing. Next up is another 3-bedroom ranch at 1342 Pine Drive in Bayshore, listed for $325,000. Featuring an updated eat-in kitchen with ceramic floors, not one but 2 fireplaces, and a full finished basement, it's the perfect home for entertaining. Call Tammy Hernandez for more information at 631-440-5408. Here we have a beautiful Hampton model in the Birchwood at Spring Lake Homeowners Association. So many amenities to list: a 9-hole golf course, 4 pools, racquetball and tennis courts, 2 gyms, and so much more. If you're interested in this property, listed for $349,990, call Lily Kaklamanis at 631-706-3221. Mr. Farmingville has our next listing on 34 Liber Boulevard on for just $359,900. It's an expanded raised ranch with a full finished basement, 2-car attached garage, a beautiful fireplace, and solid oak flooring in all bedrooms. Call David Oakley today for more information at 631-533-9322. We travel to Mount Sinai for a listing on 84 Chestnut Street, listed by Lolly Dennis for $399,000. A completely renovated cape with 4 bedrooms, an eat-in kitchen with granite countertops, and an oversized master bedroom. Contact Lolly today at 631-881-4065. Next up is 14 Alpine Place in Lake Grove, listed for $434,999. James Manicus has this beautiful colonial with an in-ground pool, an 8-zone in-ground sprinkler system, and updates throughout, including the roof, siding, and windows. Call Jim today at 631-533-9328. Michael Ardolino and Lisa Gott co-list this well-maintained farm ranch in Setauket on 14 Park Street for $569,000. It boasts a large great room with fireplace, a saltwater in-ground pool, and a new eat-in kitchen. Additional features include central air and hardwood floors throughout. For more information, contact Michael at 631-941-6262 or Lisa at 516-650-4279. 3 Chasso Court in Dix Hills is a sprawling 4-bedroom expanded ranch with a stunning glass-walled eat-in kitchen featuring an imported stainless steel Italian hood. Set on over an acre of property on a private cul-de-sac, this house is professionally landscaped with a heated in-ground pool. Call Lisa Sherman today at 631-350-7220. Listed just under $1 million, 5 Ellistan Court in Shoreham is a fantastic postmodern on over an acre of land. It features a 3-car attached garage, a family room with fireplace, and a full finished basement. Central air and heated floors make this house comfortable for anyone. Call Indira Amato for more details at 631-881-5602. Our last listing for the day is 425 Miriam Road in Mattituck, listed by Myrna Finch for $1,850,000. It's the perfect location with amazing views of the Long Island Sound and includes a gourmet chef's kitchen, 3 marble fireplaces, a granite in-ground pool, hot tub, and so much more. For more information, Myrna can be reached at 516-220-7101. Contact a Realty Connect USA agent today, connected to over 19,000 available listings on Long Island. If there's a home out there for you, we'll find it. If you have a real estate question, send us an email at realtyconnectsli@gmail.com or text us at 516-702-5406 and we'll answer your question live on Realty Connects Long Island. 474 Pulaski Road in Greenlawn is where we start our new listings this week. Listed at $299,000, this 3-bedroom ranch has beautiful hardwood floors, a 1-car detached garage, and is close to the village shopping. Call Betty Davenport at 631-223-7778 or Lenny Quartararo at 631-223-7779 for more details.